Hello, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. and I was born July 4th, 1986. And today I'm going to talk about some dogs. And an issue that I've noticed going on this past couple of years that is getting worse and worse and worse. And that is this concept that we all like to throw around in terms of reactivity. My dog is reactive. My dog is barking at other dogs. My dog is barking at other people, kids. My dog is barking at leaves, squirrels, deer. My dog is even barking at cars, vans, trucks, buses. My dog, when it sees anything moving, it just barks at it. And anything that's still, it's barking at it. What the heck is going on here? And I'd like to propose a couple of questions when it comes down to something like this, because something that I have, what I'm going to say is a lot of experience now with working with what people call our reactive dogs. And I've really come down to realize that there's some questions that need to be asked to figure out, is this a training issue or is this a relationship issue? Is this a training issue or is this putting the wrong expectations on the dog, thinking that you're going to fix it by trying to change it up, by putting a piece of equipment on that dog to tell it not to do something. Something that I think is really fascinating, the first question I want to ask is, outside of why do you have your dog, but are you creating that dog to be a protection dog for you? Did you look at that dog and say to yourself, man, I need something to help me, to protect me, to keep me safe. I need something that's going to be able to just be there if someone wants to break into the house. It's going to be there if someone tries to run up on me when I'm in the middle of a walk. Something's going to be there to be able to protect me and to be able to help me out in a time of need. Because if that's the mindset you have with your dog, I'm telling you right now, you're putting a horrible relationship with you and your dog together. Because number one, the dog just can't handle that. Unless you got a working protection dog and you know what you're doing with that, cool. This video is not for you. But more likely, you're not in that case because you don't have issues with your dog because you're putting the daily training in. You're putting in your weekly and monthly training sessions with a decoy in to make sure that the dog is staying on top of it. And you've put about 2 to 3 years worth of consistent daily training to just build that foundation of what you're looking for. You don't need help with that dog. That's a really nice dog. But for the rest of us that have pet dogs, a pet dog that you're thinking is going to protect your house, protect your kids, protect your car, protect you. I'm going to tell you this right now. You are putting unrealistic expectations upon that animal, and you are frustrating that animal. Because I'm going to say this because 100% of the time that I still work with these dogs, I do not have an issue with the dog reacting on my leash. I put a leash on, and a dog just sits there and he sees what everyone, because it's something that all the owners of dogs that I come and work with say the same thing to me. I ain't never seen my dog look like that. I've never seen my dog act like that. Because my expectations I put in on that dog, my relationship that I'm building with that dog is, dude, I got that. You're not going to be able to handle me with that. And I'm not going to make you think that you're even tough enough to be able to do that because you're not capable of doing that. So I'm never going to look at these dogs and say, please protect me. I need your help. I'm going to look at the dog and say, hey, I'm going to protect you because actually you need help. There's a difference going on with dogs today that I'm going to say. They aren't as tough as they used to be. We're breeding them to be soft. We're breeding them to be pets. We're breeding them to be able to live inside of our homes. We're not breeding them so much. I mean, we still got the side of it that breeds for its toughness and the sports stuff and the work action, the police dogs, the military dogs. And that's a whole different side of things that go on. But as far as the pet dogs that we're bringing in our homes, all these doodles and all these poodles and all these collies and all these shepherds and all these corsos and all these animals that we're bringing into our home, we're breeding them to be pets. Super soft, super submissive, super calm, super relaxed. So these dogs in reality don't have that backbone of toughness in them anymore. They're like dogs. And they look and have the appearance of savageness, but inside, they're just these sweet little cuddly bears. And you're trying to put expectations on the animal to protect you because of the way that it looks. You get a Cane Corso thinking, oh, he's going to guard me, he's going to protect me. And I'm going to tell you, I guarantee you this, he's not going to. Let somebody come up to you and to that dog that is serious about their intentions, and your dog's going to be gone before you even realize that he's gone. That's just what happens to the animals because they're pets. They're super soft. And when you're thinking and bringing a dog in your home thinking, I need it to protect me, I need it to guard me, you are putting unrealistic expectations on that dog, and that dog is going to think it's cute at fun, especially if you get it as a puppy. It's going to, this is fun. I can bark people away. It's okay. But the one thing that I'm going to say is that I noticed in pretty much all cases, rarely, and in all cases I'll say like this, you never got that dog and it just didn't react, and then all of a sudden it reacted the next day. It's always a progression where it's getting worse week after week after week, month after month after month. You're like, I used to be able to walk them, and now 4, 5, 6, 8, 2 years later, it's unwalkable dog because it's just barking at everything. Now, if you pick a dog up from the shelter that's been doing that, and that's why they ended up in the shelter, and then you got a dog that's doing that, I get you. Now it's time for us to come in to communicate to the animal that we don't do that anymore. I know what you used to do, but we don't do that. But that's a different case. But if you've had the dog and you got it from the shelter and it wasn't reactive towards anything, and week after week after week, you're noticing, man, it's getting worse. Why is it barking at this? Why is it doing this now? How come it's barking at kids? Like, what's going on with that? It's the main thing I'm going to say is, it's not that you're even afraid of what you see. You're afraid of what your dog may do. So if you see a child and you're afraid of what my dog has the potential to be able to do to that child, your dog is going to get triggered of saying, hey, I need to protect you towards that because you're clearly scared of that. The dogs can't think the way we think. They're really smart, but they're like nothing compared to us as humans. They don't realize that I'm thinking of what could happen as opposed to what is happening. That's why dogs are cool and simple and easy to me, because they're right here, right now. So if you're perceived to be scared in that moment, the dog is also in that moment going to be perceived as scared. So the first time it happens, it's whatever. Second time, whatever. And then it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then it gets to the point that the dog is now lunging, it's snapping, it's got a serious bark, it's just showing all of its teeth, it's going crazy. You know why it starts to do that? Because it's frustrated. It can't keep up with the demands that you're trying to put upon it. The dog is so frustrated that it's doing everything it can to make it go away faster. That's why they look more and more intense. They look more and more wild. They look more crazy because they're like, if I just look crazier faster, they'll leave. And what happens 100% of the time that your dog looks crazy? The threat leaves. Whatever they're barking at leaves, walks across the street. Some of y'all, it's just unfortunate. And it's unfortunate for me even to have the dog that I have, my shepherd that I take out. People are already scared of like, oh, he's going to do what all the others do. And I'm like, no, he's cool, man. He's chill. There's nothing wrong here. But people in their brain, they already expect it. A little bite goes by, he slows down. He's like, that dog about to chase me. I'm like, no, not this one. But I hear you. You should be on edge because most of them do that to you. And that's something that we're setting up as humans because we have a perceived threat of my dog may chase that bike. So then let me protect my dog. And you hold him back. You grab the leash. You tense up. Your body gets like, oh, nervous. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then the dog is reading you and saying, hey, I get you. I'll get that out of here. Watch how I can get that out of here faster and faster and faster and faster for you because I see that you're nervous about it. And then the dog starts to it goes wild. And this is where, for me, I start to see the dogs that get into extreme level of anxiety. Extreme level of anxiety because they're trying to do too much. And they're not sleeping because they're on edge all the time. They're in the house on alert. Something might be moving. I need to do something. They're in your car on alert. Something might be coming. You're on a walk on alert. Something need to come. And they never get a chance to actually get solid rest. When you're not getting solid rest, the dog it's not with it in this world anymore. It's hallucinating. That's one thing I love being able to do to a dog that's in this state is tell them, I want you to stop. And the dog looks at me like, what's up, homie? Like, I hang out with you. You awesome. The dog falls in love with me right away because I took all those expectations off of him, letting him realize, knowing that he can't keep up with that. He can't handle that. He's not going to be able to do that. And I know our intentions as humans, we're like, I wanted this dog. I want him to be able to do. No, he going to bark when someone knocks on the door. That's what your expectation should be of your dog. Not that my dog is going to actually pursue or do anything. That's where we run into situations. Because then that's when our brain starts to go into what starts to trigger the dog to think of what is a threat. I see so many people at the parks, at the playgrounds and stuff with your dogs. And you show them no attention, no affection when they're sitting there calm, relaxed, hanging out. But as soon as you see what you're like, whoa, there's a dog, there's a person, there's a this, there's a that, there's a ball, there's a frisbee, holy cow. You grab onto that dog at that moment. The dog been chilling the whole time, looking good, doing good. But when you think of something as a threat, because you're like, hey, my dog, just put it like this. I just want to make sure my dog don't go and chase them. Nothing bad's going on. You're not even technically scared. You're not really even nervous. But your language that you're explaining to that dog is saying that you're scared because you're going to tighten up on that leash. You're going to start tightening that leash and then you're going to start petting them. Even though the whole time they were just chilling, doing good, you ignored the dog. But as soon as you see what's like that might be threat, you tighten up on that leash, you choke up on that dog, and you start petting them. And that's you right there, priming your dog. So every time you see that scenario, get ready, because something's about to go down. Your body doesn't even need to be, I'm scared. But in reality, it is, because you are scared of what could happen. And the dog is seeing what is happening. And that's where we're having a disconnect. And a lot of times, I don't know what's going on. But this is something that I've just really have noticed this past couple years, and especially just this literally past couple 2 years, that things are getting, they're I don't know why, like, this is just getting flooded out there, that so many people are having this problem. I have a reactive dog. And to me, you know, there's a lot of things that's been going on this planet the past few years. Past what, now moving on to the 4th year. A lot of us have been shut in our houses. A lot of us not been interacting a lot with other people. A lot of us have been very scared and nervous of the world. We've been nervous of everything. We've been scared. We're getting in reality programmed to be such a thing. You're watching your news stations all day of like danger out here, danger over there, danger right there. So you're sitting in the house with all this like danger radar going off. And then your dog is starting to feed and read off of that. And then we're raising puppies inside of our homes. And then the puppies are feeding and reading off of that energy. And you wonder why you're getting a dog that's already psychotic looking at 8 weeks old. Because that's all that it knows is danger, nervousness, crazy. It's scary out there. You need to be cautious and worry about everything. Everybody is a threat. Everything is danger. That's what's getting force-fed to us over and over and over. And then when you're getting that, what do you think your dog is going to respond like? Your dog is going to give you that exact feedback that you got inside of yourself. This has nothing to do with a dog training situation. Because the main thing is where you start to run in extreme conflict is when you are internally telling the dog, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of what you're going to do, and the dog is perceiving it as, I'm scared because you're scared, so I need to take care of this. And then you try to come in and put a leash, put a collar, put a e-collar, put a prong collar, put a what, I don't care, a harness, a martingale, I don't care what you put on a dog. Dog can still be naked. And you put hands and you do something to that dog that's now telling that dog to not do that. So then the dog's like, hold on a second. You're telling me to go because you're scared. You're telling me to like protect this situation because there's something going on over there. But yet now you're going to correct me to tell me not to do that? And the dog is like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's happening. And that's where we run into the scenario that now we have what I consider is a dangerous dog. Because now the dog doesn't know what to do. The dog is now scared of the threat, and the dog is also now, as crazy as it sounds, scared of you. Because he's like, I'm trying to do what you want me to do, but now you are forcing me to not do what you're telling me to do, so I don't know what to do. So then the dog's like, I'm scared of that, I'm scared of you, I don't know where to go, I don't know what to make happen, and then the dog has to figure it out on its own. And most dogs in that scenario, they get extreme with their crazy reactive looks because they want to get that threat gone faster so that they don't disappoint you. Because if they get that gone, that's when the lunging starts going on. That's when that really gets amplified. Because the dog's like, if I can run that out of here, then the faster I can, then I'm not going to disappoint you. You're going to be good. You're not going to want to correct me because I handled that. And this is something that we should really think a lot about because we can perceive the world as all kinds of things. But the dog sees it right here, right now. So when we're coming at that dog with it right here, right now, I'm nervous, and you're going to correct that dog for doing what it's doing, you're going to create extreme amount of conflict, and the dog is going to run into the scenario that it is extremely anxious, extremely paranoid, extremely frustrated, and it starts to get into an extreme amount of rage. And that's what I see every day when I go for walks, how I see other dogs treat my dog. Rage. They're not, let's play, this is cute. No, they're ready to go to battle because they know that the faster they get this battle gone, the faster they're, for one, best case scenario, going to please their owner. Worst case scenario, going to make sure that they don't get corrected by their owner because they didn't do it good enough. And that's what's going on with a lot of dogs out here. And that's where the thinking capacity of the dogs starts to change up with what the dog is going to do and what it's going to make happen based on the language that we're giving them. Some dogs can think it through and say, I know you want me to do that, but I'm not going to actually put teeth on and go that far. I'm not that much of a dog. But then there are other dogs out here that they're still tough. They still got a backbone in them of realizing that they are a savage beast on this planet, that they're serious, that they can get stuff done. And that's where the dog starts to bite the other dogs. That's where the dogs are biting, shaking, holding, not letting go of other dogs because they're doing what you're telling them to do. And you're constantly telling them to do it and do it and do it better, do it better. And you didn't do it good enough. That's why I corrected you. That's the language that's going on with the dog. So this has nothing to do with, I need to train my dog to get out of this. No, you need to change what you're thinking and what you're going on, what you're believing, what you're seeing, what you're wanting, what you're desiring from your dog to just have realistic expectations of what your dog is actually capable of doing. I get it. You want something to protect you, to help you in a time of need. But it shouldn't be the dog that does that for you. It should be you, your own self, being able to manage and maintain and do what you got to do yourself. Because I'm telling you, I think a lot of us are confused with, we watch a lot of videos and think like, Oh, I see this working line Malinois. I see this Dutch Shepherd. I see this working Shepherd. I see these dogs, and they're protecting, they're guarding, they're doing this bite stuff, they're doing these things, and not realizing that those are, in the sense of, I'm gonna say with dogs, hardcore working dogs. Those are not just that hang out, chill. Those are hardcore working dogs, and you have to work those dogs. You have to do so much more with those dogs. You're not just going to get you a Cane Corso, a Pity, any kind of pit bull, bully breed mix. You're not going to get you a pug. You're not going to get you a Frenchie. You're not going to get you even a show line German Shepherd that's going to do that same type stuff. But yet you're putting the expectations of like, oh, that's a dog, so they can do the same things. That is far from reality. And some of us really need to get into reality of what dogs are actually capable of. Some dogs are capable of doing extraordinary, just crazy, maddening looking stuff. And other dogs are just, man, they sleep on the couch, man. That's all that they do. And they know that. That's what they're all about. But yet when you try to force and push them, because that's what I used to do to this Johnny, man. When I got him, I was like, I need you got to work out here, man. You got to run the cows. You got to this, you got to that. And we started butting heads because he's not a working animal. He's a pet. He's a chill. He's hang out. He's relaxed. He's like, dude, I'll go for that run for about 10 minutes, max. More than that, dude, we're done. I'll go for that walk. You want to go to the lake? You know, you give him 3 miles and he looks back at you like, I don't care about a word you say to me. You disrespected me by making me do too much right now. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry for being so pushy and so rough with you. And we were butting heads because I was putting expectations on him that's not realistic to what this specific dog is. And if you want that true protection dog that's going to actually be able to do something for you, this is not just, I'm going to get a dog and it's going to do. No, this is a significant amount of work that's involved here. A significant amount of exercise you need to continuously doing with this dog every single day. A significant amount of training that you have to continue to stay on top of with these dogs. And to have a dog that is like that is not crated and kenneled all the time, that's free and roam, you gotta dig deep with that. You are going, if your pockets ain't deep with, you got basically hundreds of $1,000s to spend on these dogs, just don't worry about it. And realize that the dog that you have that's being super reactive is doing that because it's scared and it's needing your assistance. It's looking for you to help it. It's like, hey, dude, I'm going to get that. I know what's going on, but I'll try to help you. But it's actually terrified. And that's why it's doing what it's doing. And that's why for me, every time I hold that leash, for any dog that's reactive, I'm still at a 100% with 100% reactive dogs. I explain to that dog, I'm good, man. I got you. You scared? Get behind me. You scared? Get over there. You scared? You can even run back that way. I'll allow that. You can go end of the leash that way, but you're not going forward to what you think you need to protect, guard, and do what you do to. You can get the heck out of here. If you're scared, I know you're scared. And I allow the dog to be able to realize that it is scared. And I say to the dog, it's okay to be scared because no one's had your back. I got your back now, man. I'm going to make sure that threat gets out. You want to see how fast that person's going to leave? Just stay next to my side, and that person's going to move. Watch how I magically use my Jedi mind trick skills and move them people. If someone tries to walk up to me and my dog is nervous, I'm going to use my skills of, hey, buddy, we good. My dog's fine right here. You got to advocate for your dog. You got to explain to your dog that you got it. And your dog sees that 2 or 3 times. This doesn't take thousands of reps. And this is where the treats and the toys start to confuse things. Because now you're trying to teach the dog that it goes backwards. It goes 100% backwards. You're praising the scaredness. Where I'm going to say to the scaredness, I got it. I don't want to let the dog think that being scared is even needed because I got it. I got you. There's nothing to worry about, man. I'm taking care of everything out here for you. I'm taking care of all your food. I'm taking care of your water. I'm taking care of your shelter. I'm taking care to make sure you're safe. I'm taking care of everything for you. I'm taking care of you. You got a bum foot. I'm taking care of you. You got something weird in the ear going on. I'm taking care of you. I'm taking care of 100% of the needs that the dog has. The dog doesn't need to do anything for me. And that's something that gets complicated. Because when you have a pet dog, that's what you have to do. You have to do, you're required to. The dog's not going to fix itself. The dog's not going to cut its own nails. That's weird to me about pet dogs and working dogs. I don't know why I don't cut my working dog's nails. They figure it out somehow. This dude chews his nails. I don't know, it's so strange. With my pet dogs, them things be growing. I gotta brush them out all the time. I gotta do so much extra with these guys. And because that's what they are, our pet dogs. And that's what we want to create to be able to have in our houses. But yet sometimes we want to treat them as if they're a working animal when they no longer are. And you're putting expectations on it, think, oh, it's a dog, it can handle that. No, it can't. Because there's many things that I could say about us as humans to relate this to say like, you are human and I'm a human, but I'm going to guarantee you this, we both don't do and can't do the same stuff. I do ultra marathons. I bet you can't do that. I bet you've never ran past a 15, 16, 20-mile run in your life. I could do that with ease. It's no problem. There's things that us as humans are the same exact way. I'm not going to put unrealistic expectations on a person that's never ran a mile in their life and say, hey, you got to go out there. You're about to do a 35-mile run right now in the trails, in the hills. Not even on pavement. We're going to extra complicate this. And that's what you're doing to your dog. You're saying, hey, buddy, I know you're only good for walking a mile, but I want you to be able to do a 50-mile race. Not even just a walk, but a race where you're going all out. You happen to be on guard, on alert, on edge, all the time, the whole time. And the dog's like, I'm good for a mile. And you want me to do 50? Day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. 5th, 6th day, 2 weeks later, your dog looks savage because it's not even alive anymore. It's like so zoned out. That's why your dogs look so, the only words I can use with this is just chaotic, crazy, psychotic. They're just like, oh my God, because they're not even with it. They're not, when you start getting into that sleep deprivation, you're not with it. You're not sleeping. You're not getting rest. You're not getting what you need to be able to live a nice, fulfilled quality life. And that's what's going on with what I'm going to say is reactive dogs. That's why one thing that I love doing is just putting the dog on a leash and just telling them, hey, chill out. And then there's one thing that everyone says to me. My dog slept the whole day after you left and didn't wake up to the next day. Because I finally got that dog to realize, dude, you're off duty. You pet status. You retired. You're beyond retired. You don't even, being retired here in the United States of America, you still got bills to pay. You still got stuff to do. But a retired dog has nothing to do but just be there for you and just be calm for you. Be ready to just show you affection. That's all that they got to do. They don't need to supply nothing. And I give that language to that dog. Dude, you're done. You're done. I know you used to pace this house and bark at every single person down the street. You used to run in your backyard and feel like you had to bark at everybody. But I'm telling you right now, you're done. You're done, man. You don't need to do none of that. And dogs like, they always do this, man. They bark and then they stop and then they always look up at me. They're just like, thank you, man. And then they lay down. They lay right down. I don't tell them, I don't demand them, I don't force them. They just do that 100% of the time because they're just begging to say, I don't know what to do. I don't know what's happening here. This person's putting too much on me and I don't know how to deal with that. And that's why it gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And that's why you have a dog that ends up barking at leaves, that barks at, I've had dogs that bark at with just, it's the wind. I don't know what they're even barking at this moment. They just come out the house just barking. And I'm like, dude, this dog is so on edge that it doesn't even know what the heck to do. It just thinks that I'm just going to bark the whole world and we'll go back in the house and everything will be fine. And then they get in the house and they pacing every single window, barking at every single thing. They're like, well, at least I got half my problems away of being outside, so now I'm just going to stay inside. And that's the complicated thing of the backwardsness that we do with dog training. The dog doesn't want to go outside because it's not sure what to do. So that's technically punishing the dog to go out there to do that, as opposed to rewarding the dog. And that's where things get complicated, because that's where the treats and the toys confuse things. The dog is in a negative sense of seeing the outside world, and you're going to give it a treat. You're giving a dog a treat to see negative. Treat negative, treat negative. So the dog's like, what the heck's going on here? As opposed to giving a dog a treat for being in the positive. And that's where things are getting confusing, where we as humans don't think of the animals as being like individual, free-thinking little beings. We think they're like robots that I can tell you what's good. Just because you're good with walking outside doesn't mean your dog is. Just because you're good with hanging out in the house doesn't mean your dog is. Just because you're good with taking care of things and keeping up with things and eating your food a certain way doesn't mean your dog is. It means that we got to show them what's good. And we got to show them through, say, a positive experience. But that positive experience needs to be in a way that the dog sees it as a positive experience, not the way that I see it as positive. If a dog is terrified of my pig out there, he's terrified of it. It's a negative experience for him to be around that. So if he's terrified, I give him a treat. He's like, what the heck is going on here? And we're putting too high of expectations on dogs, thinking that they understand this. They don't understand what the heck's going on here. They're like, oh, treat, pig. I'm scared, treat. Scared, treat. Scared, treat. And that's why it takes you what's called management and, what is this? What's the other word for that? I don't even know. But control and management. There we go. That you're going to have to consistently keep staying on that for the remainder of the dog's life. Because a dog is just they're so confused. As opposed to you having a good understanding of what your expectations of the animal are. If you're not scared of the kid, then stop pulling a dog back, thinking that you need the dog to be scared of the kid. You're not scared of the dog, Stop pulling your dog back, telling it to be scared of the dog. You're not scared of the person, stop pulling your dog back to tell them to be scared of that person. Because the dog is only seeing right here, right now. The dog doesn't understand your thinking with, oh, this may happen or that might happen. No, the dog's like, we in it. We in the battle right now. And that's why the number one thing that I'm going to say to solve this issue is to be completely neutral and take your dog everywhere. Take your dog. Your dog is freaking out with other dogs and it's got this, I want to bark at them. You're going to go to the dog park, not inside, but on the outside, and just stand there with the leash in your hand and just hang the heck out. I mean, even get yourself on your phone and just look so disinterested in what the dog is doing to really let the dog know, dude, I'm not paying any attention to that. I'm over here. So when you stop that, then I'll pet you. Oh, hey, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? So the dog gets a better understanding of what you're actually looking for from them. You got to stand there and do nothing. You got to stand there and be calm. You got to sit at the park with your kids, watching them play with your dog. And when your dog is sitting there just relaxed, you need to show that dog affection every time at that moment. They lay there and you're just like, oh, good boy, good boy, good. I like this. This is what I need. This is what I like. I enjoy this. This looking good. And then when the dog gets up and alert, you look the other way. You get on your phone. I don't know what's going on with that, but I am not paying any attention to that. And then you're going to start to see your dog get into a better place. And stop putting all of this extra pressure on your dog, thinking that your dog is going to be able to defend you. It's not. It just isn't. And I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, just watch video after video. And if you really, really don't believe me, call a local trainer that does protection work and tell them to put pressure on your dog to see what your dog is going to do. I'm guaranteeing you that they're going to run away. And even if they bite, it's like they're so soft about it that it's like, dude, you didn't do anything here. And all I got to do is do a little bite and you can just smack that dog in the face. It's going to run away. Stop putting expectations on them that they're going to be this savage beast that's going to be able to get an intruder out of your house. No. If you got a pet dog, you're the one that's going to get the intruder out because it's scaring your dog. That's why your dog is freaking out at the mail person. It's like, hey, can you handle that for me? Because this is scary. This is scary. And you walk out there and you say, hey, I got this for you. And you walk out there and you say, hey, we're good. And watch the guy walk away and you say to your dog, we good. You stay over here. Everything's fine. There's nothing to worry about. I took care of that for you. I made the guy leave. See? I did. It's simple things that we do each day. That's stuff that we don't talk about with training dogs for some reason. That simple concept, that simple drill right there with the postman or delivery people. When they come, stop allowing your dog to bark, and watch that guy or girl walk away. You get yourself up and go outside and you walk that person away. And you say, I got him. This is what I say to my dogs. Oh, thank you. Thanks for all that. I got it now. I'm taking ownership and control of the situation now. I don't need you to do nothing no more. You alerted me to let me know. I appreciate you. Thanks for barking. Thanks for letting me know someone's coming down the driveway. I appreciate that. Now, I'll handle the rest. You just chill. You just hang out. And I go walk out there and I make sure that it's good to go. That's how I'm able to get every single one of my dogs to stop the savage barking, the savage craziness. Because I said, I got it for you. I want them to alert. I want them. That's all you're looking for your dog, especially inside of your home. Alert. You don't want that outside. You already are clearly looking and seeing. You're good to go. I don't need him to alert at everything. But inside of my home, yeah, man, give me a bark or two. Let me know that someone's coming. And then once I know, I come in and I verify to you, hey, thanks, Johnny. Thanks for letting me know someone's here. Then he stops. He's like, okay, cool. I can go back to sleeping now because I got it. He doesn't need to do it anymore. There's a lot of little things that we do like that. That has nothing to do with giving him a treat and ringing the doorbell, giving him a treat, giving him a correction if he barks when you're ringing the doorbell. This stuff is, I don't want to use it. It is. It's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. It goes backwards in understanding the relationship and then the thinking and the capabilities of what dogs are. It's stupid. It does nothing for the dog. And that's why you're always, this is the one thing I'm going to say here. That's why you're always on what dog trainers talk about. Management, and management. You're going to have to keep on working on it. You're going to have to keep up with it. You're going to have to keep on. You're going to have to put your dog on the place bed, and you're going to have to be very, very strong about making sure he's there and giving him a treat and doing this and doing that. That is just maddening. Who could live a life like that? That's just crazy. But the main thing is here, we really as people need to understand, stop putting these high expectations on your dog when it's not capable of doing it. And start to really research what dogs are actually truly capable of doing. And then start to be able to just test and verify with your own animal in your home what it's capable of doing. If your dog is pacing around the house, you need to figure out what's going on that I'm giving the language to tell my dog to do that. Because you're driving him crazy. Every loop that he does, it's just building. Every time you go outside and he's on leash and he's lunging and barking and going crazy, you're driving that dog insane crazy. I know you frustrated, but the dog is way more frustrated than you even are, than you even think you possibly are. The dog is in extreme frustration. You looking nervous and you looking kind of crazy. Oh, my dog, my dog. And then sometimes you got these little fake smiles like, yeah, I know. It's just the new normal to allow our dogs to just be savage and crazy on leash, which, from my understanding, someone wants to talk to me about my dog being off leash, but those signs say leash in control. And no one's paying attention to that in control part, allowing your dogs to be savage and barking and lunging and going crazy after all me and my dogs. And that's the part where I'm going to say majority of us are, I would say, is breaking the law in reality here in the United States of America with what we do with walking our dogs, because they're not in control. They're just crazy. And if they're crazy, it's because they're trying to do something for you. And then they're doing something for you that they think is pleasing you, and then you tell it no. And then the dog is like, I don't know what's that. I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to make happen here. And I'm telling you, it has nothing to do with the next training method to get your dog to stop being reactive. Nothing at all. I'm telling you, you are not going to train out reactivity in a dog. You're just not going to. And if you do the training method, you're going to be constantly on that management thing. You're going to constantly have 18 pounds of food on you all the time. You're going to constantly have a toy on you all the time that you can whip out in every little scenario. You're going to constantly have chew things always. You're going to constantly have to keep doing that. Until you get out of your brain, dude, you're done. You're done. I don't want this. And every time he's doing it, you ignore it. Every time he's doing what you're looking for, which is being calm, you show him an extreme amount of affection and attention. Extreme amount of attention. I mean, at first, if your dog is already wild, go crazy with the affection. Go crazy with the attention. Go crazy with the pets. Go crazy with the just almost in a way smothering them. To kind of get them to be like, dude, you're doing a little too much. And it's like, exactly. Because too much of this is better than too much of that crazy madness that you're doing out there. To really get into that dog's brain. I'm telling you, this is all that it takes. All that it takes. And then what happens is the dog will automatically give you an extreme amount of respect and just lay down. That's what they always do for me every time I'm on leash. They lay down. That's them saying, hey, man, he got it. I don't need to worry about nothing. Laying down to a dog is tough because it's very, very vulnerable for him. And when a dog is going from extreme high, barking, to just laying down, it lets me know that it's understanding. Okay, I don't need to worry about that. This guy's got it for me. And that's all that it takes. It's all that it is. I cannot beat your dog into submission. I cannot treat your dog into submission. I cannot give your dog enough toys into submission to get them to be able to walk out there without barking at everybody. The only thing to be able to do that is for us to stop putting these expectations that my dog is going to protect and guard. My dog is going to do something to be able to keep me safe. And stop feeding into your fears and putting them into your dog of what ifs. Your dog is what is. And get out of the what if. What if he did this? What if he did that? If you are so scared of your dog, why do you even have it? Why is it even around you? And that's one thing that we really need to think hard about. You're scared of what your dog may do to a kid. Why the heck do you have that dog in your house with your kids? What the heck's going on here? You're so scared of what your dog may do to that person over there. Why do you even have your dog with you as a human being and your spouse or whoever else in your house, knowing that he may bite him? Then why wouldn't you think that it's going to bite you? And this happens to some people, unfortunately. And that's where you call a dog trainer. If you're scared of your dog inside of your house, call a trainer right now. Right now. I don't even care if it's a treat-based trainer. I don't care if it's a full-on force-based trainer. You need to communicate to somebody, get face-to-face with somebody to start to figure out, like, I need to figure something out here because I can't be in my house scared right now with my dog. And it's very, very unfortunate. But I'm just going to say, stop feeding into what your dog is doing. Stop feeding into your fears and insecurities. Stop feeding into what our society is trying to put fears and insecurities inside of us. And realize that your dog is soft. And you, as well as a human being, are soft. A lot of us try to walk around like we're so big, bad, and tough. And I'm like, I love seeing a big, bad, tough-looking person with their dog and seeing their dog super submissive. I'm like, dude, I know who you are. Just chill. Just calm down. There's no reason to have this shows, these things going on. Just relax. It's all right. No one cares. You may care, but no one else in reality cares. And it's all right. Just relax. And a lot of that is what's going to give us to be able to have a better dog. Because we're putting fears into the dog that don't need to be there. We're putting what ifs and what could be's and what might happens. And the dog is only seeing right now, right here, in this situation. And I'm telling you, this does not take months, even weeks, years to get the dogs out of. It takes 2 to 3. I keep a dog here 2 days. Anything more than that is a waste of time. In 2 days is enough time to be able to explain to the dog, I don't want that no more. And especially if you got a German Shepherd that's doing that. And because German Shepherds will go 100. If you telling them to fight, guard, and bark, I mean, they will bite and they will hurt. You telling a lot of your bully breed dogs to do that. That bully breed dog will go, it will bite. It will do what you're telling it to do. It will do it. It will follow through with what it is that you're saying. And some of y'all scared holding y'all leash back, you should be terrified of what your dog's going to do because it will do what it thinks you're telling it to do. And then if you're correcting it to tell it not to do it while you're telling it to do it, that dog will kill. It will kill another dog. It will go straight to death. It will. Because that's what's inside of them to do. And when you're triggering them to do it over and over and over again, they will 100% do it. So you should be scared of holding that leash and making sure that you're doing everything in power to keep that dog away. But the main thing is you want to get out of that. You want to get away from that. You want to be able to teach your dog that, dude, I know you tough looking and you this and I got me a bully breed because I wanted to be a protector. Take those expectations off and realize that your bully breed dog is soft. It's soft. If it got into a real fight with a real dog, it's going to run away. It's going to back down. Your dog is soft. And there's nothing for us. I don't care how big the dog is. We're trying to go with these bigger things today. Your dog is soft. Get it next to a 3-month-old puppy, hard, heavy working Malinois. Your dog is going to run away from this puppy. I mean, watch the videos, people. They're all out here for us to see. It's not like there's some hidden information. I've seen big 4 or 5-year-old looking Rottweilers next to a puppy Rottweiler, a real one. Not the pet styles, there's the working ones. Next to a puppy that is dominating the food from this grown adult, a puppy. Because they know what they are inside. And majority of y'all dogs inside of your homes are soft. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you need to just realize that, recognize that, understand that, and just be able to work with your dog and work your dog through its fears. The fears that we are putting onto the dog. Not even the fears that the dog even has inside of its own self. So I've taken dogs that people say are fearful, and I bring them here, and they're totally fine. They chasing chickens around. They chase my donkey away. My donkey's tough. My donkey is serious. Donkeys are not like no dogs. Their whole livelihood is to get dogs, coyotes, and raccoons and everything off the land. And he'll stand there and stare at a dog. And he puts extreme pressure on it. And I've had dogs and people say, oh, he's scared, he's this. And that dog goes out there and he goes on 100 with that thing. Because they know, hey, it's all good. But that's not something that we want our dogs to display when we're out in public doing what we're doing. When we're sitting in our houses relaxing. Your dog is just soft dog. Your dog is just timid. Your dog is just laid back. Your dog is just chill. Your dog is super soft to the point that it just loves to be hugged. It loves pets. It loves to just hang out with you. It loves to go for car rides with you. It loves to just sleep with you, nap with you, hang with you. It loves to just sit and watch you make some food. It loves to just sit and watch you fold clothes. It loves to just watch you make the bed and clean the bathroom up. And it loves to watch you just vacuum the house. But when it doesn't understand what its roles are, vacuuming your house, sweeping your house, doing all these things, it's so stressful because the dog is on edge. It's on like, I gotta get it. I'm gonna attack that vacuum. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna attack that broom. I'm gonna get it. No, man. No, your dog isn't made to do that. And again, if your dog is made to do that, you got no reason to watch videos. You don't watch dog training stuff. You don't watch how to get better relationship with dog stuff. You're good because you know what it takes to get your dog to be good. And it's an excessive amount of work. That's no longer some hobby stuff and having just a hangout dog. That's now a work. That's a job. That's serious now. And people that have them dogs, they know what it takes and everything about that. And they don't need no help from a dude like me talking about how to get my dog to calm down. Because that's the last thing they want to do is to calm their dogs down. They're trying to figure out how do I get my dog to be even more excitable? How do I get my dog even more crazy? How do I get my dog to want to bite even more? How do I get my dog to have more passion and more drive? That's what they're looking for. But as a pet dog, please stop watching people that talk about that and do that and got all the awards saying that I know how to train because I know how to get a dog to be a psychopath. No, that's the opposite of what you want for a pet dog. And that's why I'm going to say a majority of all the treat stuff, all the toys play work stuff is pointless, meaningless, because you're creating something that you are actually going to start regretting in the future, especially if you get a puppy and you're treating it and doing all this luring stuff and doing all this stuff. You're doing all that. You're creating something that you're going to really regret in the future. And that's the part for me that I just have it in me of saying, please, people, stop. Because you just abandon and give up on the dogs and put it in the shelter. Our shelters here, this is just one little area here. They are all always full, over full. Why? Because we have psychotic dogs in our houses that we are playing and doing all this stuff with, and now it's too much for me. So I gotta abandon it. I drop it off somewhere. I tie it to a tree and leave it. I try to drown it. I try to just leave it in the car and let it die. This stuff that goes on because of the things that we're doing to these dogs and treating them as if they're not living individual creatures, that they're just a stuffed animal that you can do whatever the heck you want to. And we're going to keep getting more and more dogs in the shelters and more overran, more and more overpopulated because we're constantly keep doing this. And then we get in our brains up, oh, that one failed. Let me get another one. And then you end up doing that 10 times in your lifetime. And you're just, oh, I just keep getting bad dogs. I don't know what the deal is. No, it's if you got 10 different situations that are not going so great, there's one common root here. You. That's the issue, not the dogs. If you got one and you're like, I don't know what's going on, you got another one and still doing them same things, you are the issue. Got nothing to do with the dog. The dogs are awesome. They are super sweet. They are super amazing. I rarely see a tough dog in the shelter. I rarely see just this crazy, I want to eat up everything and eat everybody type dog. They are so soft and they're so easygoing. They're just looking for someone to say, hey dude, I know you're soft. I know you're scared. I'm going to take care of everything for you. And if you just follow me, I'll be able to keep you safe. That's what the dogs are just, they're begging for from us. They're saying, please, man, I'm nervous right now with this situation. Can you help me? And I'm like, I got you, man. Come here. Get behind me. I got you. Don't worry about nothing. I'll take care of it for you. And the dog's going to look at you and be like, that's my owner. He got it. He's going to take care of me. And then they chill everywhere you take them because they know that they don't need to be on edge, that they don't need to be on guard, that you got it for them. And that's something that I just want more people to understand. You don't have a training issue. You're not going to train reactivity out of a dog. You're going to train yourself. Yourself. Nothing with the dog. Exit the dog out your training plans. You need to get a notebook and write down, what do I do? And have someone critique you. Have your spouse. When you out in public and you doing, and say, hey, you pulled on the leash when you saw this. You pulled on the leash when you saw that. You pulled on the leash when you did this. You started giving him praise when he was doing that, so that you can start to realize what you're doing to create this reactive looking dog, as opposed to thinking that the dog is the issue. It's not. And if you're looking at all these issues, that's where I'm going to kind of say majority of everything that I talk about with dog training, the dog's not the problem. It's 100% us what we're doing. It's rarely the dog. Rarely. There's some cases where the dog is, we're like, what the heck's going on here? But that's very rare in just being able to coexist with each other. It's primarily us as humans that we're doing something that we shouldn't be doing. And we need to keep that in our brains at all times and be very, very focused on realizing that that's the way to success. You're not going to take your dog. I'm going to take your dog for a couple of weeks and give him back to you. Heck yeah, I'm going to give you a nice dog back. But it's going to be nice for me, not for you. I can manipulate your dog a little bit, but it's going to be nice for me. Every time I show up, the dog's going to be like, dude, I like that guy. I'm going to go hang out with that. It's sad and emotional to me sometimes when I work with some dogs and they try to follow me to get back in my van. And I'm like, I'm sorry, man. This you here right now. I don't want you. I got enough dogs right now. I'll take you, but I got enough. I don't need another pet dog. I'll take a working dog. Anybody got a work? I don't know what it is about me. I love them dogs. I got stuff to do. But I don't need another pet dog. I got too many. And it's just sad to me to see how the dogs they're like that. Because they like that security. They like that sense of they're going to take care of it for me. They love, dogs, they love it. Working dogs as well. But pet dogs 100% love that we take care of it for them. That they don't need to go out into the danger, that we're going to go to danger for them. They love it. They will do anything for you at that moment. They'll sit pretty for days and weeks and years, man. You could go to the park and play with your kids and tell them down by the bench, and that dog will stay there all day while you play with your kids because it knows it's good to go, that you got it. If somebody walks up to it, you're, hey, get away from my dog. You know, get away from him. If he's not ready yet, at some point the dog will be ready. That anybody can pet him and anybody can get around him and everything is going to be cool to go. But at the beginning, no, y'all stay the heck away right now, please. That's mine. Your dog is going to see you, watch your language into that person and watch that person, and turn away. And your dog's going to be like, yeah, man, look at that. You see what my owner just did for me? I'll lay here forever now because I know things are good. That's what your dogs are begging for. And that's something that, just think hard about that. Think hard about that is all I want to say. As opposed to thinking that your dog is having an issue. Think hard about What is it that we're doing as a human being to create that with that dog? Because it just confuses me on like why my dogs just don't do that. And the dogs that I did get that did that just stopped doing that. And it just comes down to that simple fact of I may be scared of some people. I may be scared of some dogs, but I'm not going to put the pressure on my dog of making him think or her think that she's got to defend for me. I switched that role to say, hey man, I know you may be able to, may be capable of that, but I'm going to handle it. I got it. And my border collie here, he's the one that I was like, I need you to bark at vehicles that come down this driveway. If for whatever reason I got that gate open and someone walking down there, let me know. And then that's it for him. I don't put the expectation on him that he needs to follow through with being able to make sure that he can fight them away or bite them off or get them gone. I'll handle that. And it's allowed him to be able to rest. He's like, oh, someone's coming. And I'm like, cool. And then he literally would just lay back and relax and just chill. Really, I got it. That's something that I want all of us to be able to have. Because I don't know, man, it's nice to have nice dogs. And it really does not take a lot to have a nice dog. It just takes being able to change the way we are looking at our dogs and wanting from our dogs to being able to get that to be a nice dog. Thank you.